Hello everyone, welcome to PRV solution. So in this video lecture we will study strain gauge and LVDT, which are transducers. We already studied transducers introductory part in previous lectures. So here we will only study two another important transducers which are widely used: strain gauge and LVDT. LVDT means linear variable differential transformer or transducer. So strain gauge. So a strain gauge is an example of passive transducer. It converts a mechanical displacement into change in resistance, and this change in resistance is determined, it is proportional to the change in the displacement. So a strain gauge is a thin wafer like device which is shown in the figure. They can be attached to a variety of materials to measure applied strain. So strain is applied on this wafer like strain gauge, and this is the connection which are used to connect it is to the different materials. So these are used for measurement of the strain. The majority of the strain gauges are foil types, available in wide choice of shapes and size to suit a variety of applications. So strain gauge have different types, but we generally mostly use foil types strain gauges because they occurs in different shapes and sizes for use in different applications. They consist of a pattern of resistive foil which is mounted on a backing material. They have resistive foils, they are mounted on the some backing materials. They operate on the principle that as the foil is subjected to stress, the resistance of the foil changes in a defined way. So when stress is applied, then this resistance of this foil changes, and in this way this change in the resistance is proportional to the applied stress. The change in the value of resistance by the application of force can be explained by the normal dimensional change of the elastic material. So when force is applied, then elastic material dimension will change. So this resistance will change according to this dimensional change. So if a positive strain occurs, positive strain means its longitudinal dimensional x direction will increase, while there will be a reduction in the lateral dimension, means y direction. The reverse case will happen for a negative strain, means if its longitudinal direction will now decrease, then lateral dimension will increase. Since the resistance of a conductor is directly proportional to its length and inversely proportional to its cross sectional area, means R is proportional to L by A. So resistance change accordingly by the dimension. The resistivity of a conductor is also changed when strained. So this property is known as piezoresistive resistive effect. Because of change in the dimension, the resistivity change. So this phenomenon is known as piezoresistive effect. Working of the strain gauge. This is our strain gauge. The strain gauge is connected into a Wheatstone bridge circuit. The change in the resistance is measured by using this Wheatstone bridge, and this change in the resistance is proportional to the applied strain, because when we firstly balance this bridge, then strain is applied. After balancing, we can get the resistance value of this, and this the change in the resistance value can be calculated from this Wheatstone bridge, which is proportional to the applied strain. Now the another important factor which is associated with the strain is gauge factor. Suppose we have a circular shape strain gauge and its length is normal or unstressed length is L and unstressed diameter is D, and we are applying here positive strain, means we are increasing it in x direction, force is applied in x direction. Then this L will change to L plus delta L, and this diameter will get changed to D minus delta D under stressed condition. So resistance of unstrained gauge is R is equal to rho L by A, where rho is the resistivity, L is the length of the circular strain gauge, and A is the cross sectional area of this circular strain gauge. We will find change in the resistance. So we are applying here force or strain. So we will differentiate it with stress S, dr by ds. We will get equation number 2, and when we will divide this equation by R is equal to rho L by A, we will get this third equation. So we can observe here from equation third, the effective change in resistance, means change in the resistance with stress, is due to three factors. One is delta L by L, per unit change in the length, delta A by A, per unit change in the area, delta rho by rho, per unit change in the resistivity. So this change in the resistance with stress is occurred due to these three factors. Now area, we know the area is pi r square, r is converted into d by 2. So if we will differentiate this area with respect to stress, we will get this 2 pi by 4 d delta d by delta s. So 1 by area delta by delta s is becomes equal to 2 by d delta d by delta s, and when we will substitute this IV value in equation third, we will get this equation. So now from Poisson equation, the Poisson coefficient is lateral strain by longitudinal strain, which is equal to the curly d by d divided by curly L by L. So from this relationship, we will get curly d by d is equal to minus nu into curly L by L, and we will put this this value here. So this minus sign will becomes positive in next equation. This will get positive when this delta S is 0, means very small change in the strain or stress. Then we have this equation can be converted into simple equation, equation number 5. So here we have a gauge factor, which is defined as change in incremental change in resistance to the change in the length, and when we will divide this equation, fifth equation, by delta L by L. So delta R by L, R is divided by delta L by L, which is becomes equal to gauge factor GF. This will becomes equal to 1 plus 2 nu, this will be cut out, and then next this is this factor is divided by delta L by L. So this GF becomes equal to 1 plus 2 nu plus delta rho by rho divided by S, where delta L by L is S, which is known as strain. So in this way we will get gauge factor. The value of gauge factor will come out to be always 1 plus 2 Poisson coefficient delta rho by S, where delta L by L is the strain. So this gauge factor K, the sensitivity of a strain gauge is described in terms of a gauge factor. So strain gauge important parameter is gauge factor, because it decides the sensitivity of the strain gauge, and it is given by delta R by R, delta L by L. Gauge factor is related to Poisson's ratio, mu by K plus K is equal to 1 plus 2 nu, where K is GF or K, which is equal to gauge factor. Gauge or R is the gauge wire resistance, delta R is the change in the wire resistance, L is the length of the gauge wire in unstressed condition, and delta L is the change in the length in the stressed conditions. So we have to find this gauge factor in the theory section for the strain gauge. Next, desirable characteristics of strain gauge of material which are used for strain gauge. First is the Material must have high gauge factor, high resistivity, low temperature sensitivity, means low temperature coefficient of resistance, low hysteresis, and the linearity, it must be linear. Stress versus resistance should be linear. These are the desirable characteristics of a material which are used for strain gauge. Applications where strain gauge can be used: residual stress measurement, vibration measurements, torque measurements, bending and deflection measurements, compression and tension measurements, strain measurements. Now the second transducer, which is very important and widely used for measurement purpose, is linear variable differential transformer. So LVDT, its working principle: LVDT is based on a variation in inductance with differential output. So it is based on the variation on the inductance with differential output. Inductance can be varied by variation in these three quantities: magnetic permeability of material, number of turns, geometric configuration. Because the inductance of a material is given by mu naught mu r A by L. Secondary windings are connected with opposite polarity to provide differential output. Here we will connect secondary winding in such a way so that they will provide differential output. Construction: LVDT consists of cylindrical transformer where it is surrounded by one primary winding P1 on one side and two secondary winding S1 S2 on the other side. These are two secondary winding on other side and P1 is the primary winding here. The number of turns in both secondary windings are equal. These S1 and S2 number of turns are equal, but they are connected in such that they have opposite polarity, so that they will it will provide differential output. The primary winding is connected to AC source. This primary winding is connected to AC source. A soft iron core moves within a hollow cylindrical core and changes the magnetic flux linked with the primary and two secondary winding. This will change the magnetic flux between primary and secondary windings. With this urn, when we will displace this urn from one point to another point. Working: case 1, when iron core is at center, means null position, output is 0 as ES1 is equal to ES2, because both the outputs differential outputs are same, because the flux linking both the secondary windings are is equal, hence equal EMF are induced. ES1 is equal to ES2 and output is ES1 minus ES2. So we will get 0 voltage when this is at center. When the core is moved to the left of the null position, more flux links with winding S1, means when it core is moved to left, then more flux is linked with S1 and less with winding S2, hence output voltage is ES1 is greater than ES2 and the output voltage is positive and in phase with input signal. So here we will get positive output voltage. When the core is moved to the right, this way the more flux is linked with this winding, so the voltage at this side is greater than at this side, means ES2 is greater than ES1. So we will have negative voltage here. The output voltage is negative and 180 degree out of phase with input signals. So in this way it will provide differential output when we will move the soft iron core from left to right. Equivalent circuits of LVDT: this is the core which we are moving, this is the primary winding through which AC excitation or input voltage is connected. These are two secondary windings which are connected in such a way that they will provide opposite polarity, and E0 is the output and this E naught is always equal to ES1 minus ES2. Working and characteristics, core at 0, then it will provide 0 voltage. When we will move it on left side, then it will provide positive voltage. When we will move it on right side, it will provide negative voltages. So in this way it will provide its characteristic curve. You will find as, so here it is positive, means positive voltage, phase difference is 0. Here we are getting 180 degree phase shift with respect to input. So this is the working and characteristics of the LVDT. Advantage of LVDT: high linearity. It has high linearity, high sensitivity, very low hysteresis, low power consumption. And disadvantage of LVDTs are large offset, means threshold. It uses large offset voltage and it is easily affected by stray magnetic field. Applications: linear displacement measurement and measurement of pressure and tensions. So this is all about the LVDT, linear variable differential transformer, which is a widely used device for measurement of the displacement by providing differential output. Thanks for watching.